Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast. We have a very exciting guest today. We have one of the owners of Lula's. And if you've never been to Lula's,
You're missing out.
you're missing out. You're wasting your time. If you're not making a reservation right now, you're still wasting your time. Everyone, please welcome Niko.
Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Yeah. Thanks for having me. No ouzo this time, but we'll have to-
How's your day going?
Great. I mean, just kind of nice little summer day in Vancouver. Got
Move up a little bit.
got to work in the morning and rushed over here for a nice little podcast. Yeah, with you guys.
What's like we were talking earlier about what your day to day is, but I know it probably is different every single day for any business owner. What's a typical, if you can kind of justify a typical day?
Yeah, generally I would say, getting up at like 10, 11 o'clock, kind of heading down to the restaurant, kind of tying up some loose ends from the night before,
Mhm.
planning for the dinner service, heading back home, and then, showering, changing, and rushing
Yeah.
back for dinner,
Non-stop.
basically.
Cleaning up all the
Non-stop.
plates on the ground.
Exactly. A lot of cleanup, a lot of cleanup for sure.
Yeah, a lot of cleanup. I feel like that place is probably a mess
Yeah,
at like 2:30, 3 a.m.
it's rough. For
Tissues
sure.
in there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
tissues. We were there on Saturday, and a guy just hands us a stack of tissues. He's just like, throw.
Was that me?
Was it you?
It was probably.
Was it you? Yeah. You gave me a stack, and I was like, okay. I just threw them up. It goes everywhere. Like, all I thought about is a mess because we had a confetti, confetti thing here.
Candy.
We shot it, and there was like sprinkles everywhere for
Still
like 2
cleaning it
weeks.
up.
Yeah, they're probably still in between the couches.
You're gonna be finding that stuff for like a month.
Yeah.
So I was hoping if you can maybe give us a quick rundown. What is Lula's and how the whole idea came to fruition?
Yeah, so Lula's, I mean, first and foremost, it's a Greek Taverna. We're located on Commercial Drive. We kind of try to offer like a unique dining experience that kind of differentiates from a lot of other Greek places in the city. The whole idea came about with, me and my partners. We wanted to showcase, our summer vacations, if you will, going to like the Greek islands and going out for dinner and sharing food together.
And you're Greek, correct?
I'm Greek, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I come from both my parents are Greek. My business partners are Greek as well. But sharing food, drinks, laughter, and in like an upbeat environment that you can maybe get up and dance if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to leave to go to the next spot for the party, basically.
You essentially brought Mykonos to
Yeah,
Vancouver.
That was
the
that was
goal,
the
yeah.
whole idea behind the concept, and we didn't really expect it to kind of pick up as fast as it did, but I mean, we're happy it did.
That doesn't sound like a bad issue to have.
No,
No.
we're kind of grasping it
Yeah.
as it goes for sure.
How do you like? I feel like some restaurants or clubs. I know you guys aren't a club, but they kind of have their 6 months of fame, and then they die out, and people find that the next hot spot.
Yeah, like, how do you guys stay relevant?
Yeah, because it's been a minute since you've been open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people still haven't either discovered you. There's still always a group of people that are like, "What's that?" And then they go, and then they like it, and it just like everyone seems to always like it and want to go and get a rezo. How's that
Yeah,
work?
it's definitely a great question. I mean, we constantly try to innovate and see what they're doing, especially in Greece or Europe, and that's something that we try to stay true to. We don't want to play the same, hip hop songs that they're playing everywhere downtown, or
Mhm.
we try to stay true to kind of our concept, Mediterranean vibe, and see what they're doing out there in Mykonos or in other Greek islands
Right.
or anywhere in Europe. Bring those rituals here, and we like to have fun. My partners like to have fun, so hopefully that kind of emanates throughout the space, and people kind of feed off that. Hopefully that's at least what I like to think.
Yeah, what I noticed when we were there on Saturday, so you guys had the big bay door up, and the music screaming out onto Commercial, and we were right by the kind of bay door, so we saw everyone that walked by, and everyone stopped, looked, kind of like wanted a piece of the action, but saw that it was full, and they were almost like disappointed that they didn't like think about it earlier.
I feel
Or
like
they
it goes
didn't-
in everyone's bucket list of places they want to hit in Vancouver.
Yeah, it's like one of those spots that
Yeah.
they just have to see. But it's like you don't see that very often where people like want to get in and they're peeking through.
It's definitely different for commercial drive, I would say. And
Yeah.
the size of the space kind of plays into it. You know, supply and demand. There's only about 55 seats, and hopefully it's one of those, one of those things you're trying to get the week or two after that, especially late at night. I find that that's what is pretty coveted right now. The room is super cute. One of my business partners' wives actually designed that and a couple other spaces that we have.
Okay.
But we kind of just told her, like, we want to be transported to our, a Greek island, our summer vacation. And she nailed it on the head. Like the cute little chairs, archways, super simple.
Yeah.
She nailed it. And I've had many people kind of, tell me like that when they walk into our space, they truly feel like transported, that they're on a summer vacation in Greece, that kind of thing.
So to the design of it, it's beautiful. If you haven't been, definitely go. But the bathrooms, you guys have very unique
Yeah.
bathrooms that are really make anyone and everyone want to take a selfie with them.
And then they tag Lula's all
Everyone, every girl
Everyone's always
has a
asked,
pho
yeah.
in that bathroom.
Was that
the
Josh Stamos?
Yeah, John
Stamos says
so-
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, Uncle Jesse
Aniston.
from
Woot,
woot.
Full House. And yeah, we've noticed. I mean, the bathroom lineups are crazy, and I think that's probably why.
Yeah.
Like I forbid to go in the John Stamos one.
Yeah.
I wait and wait.
It's the
until
only
get
one
the
I
Jennifer
go in, man. It's the only one I go in. Love Uncle Jesse. And yeah, a lot of people didn't know. I think Jennifer Aniston's actually Greek too. I don't know how we landed on those two, but
Great choices.
yeah,
choice.
just
Such
a
a-
guy and a girl, and
Yeah. It's just simple
Yeah.
marketing thing.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like like the timing of it too. Friends has been on Netflix for the last few years.
Yeah,
and
totally.
everyone's kind of talking about her again.
it's come back kind of full circle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like '90s dress is like very in style.
In style again,
early
yeah.
2000s, and she was like
Yeah.
that was her.
But everyone asks, "Oh, why is Jennifer Aniston on there?" I'm like, "Oh, you know what? She's Greek background."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the next, so you mentioned Commercial Street. So I know you had mentioned how you guys owned something before Lula's there.
Yeah.
Right. But so if you can talk about on that, but also how you kept the idea of keeping in Commercial Street rather than relocating to somewhere else that maybe is currently more in the hub right now,
Like Yaletown.
like Yaletown.
Yeah, I think to answer that, yeah, definitely like comfortability. We have some roots on commercial. We have Sopra Sotto, which we opened about 5 years ago, which is Italian. We do like funky cocktails, fresh.
Did we go there?
I took you there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it me, you, Addie? We got pizza, and then we went.
And then we went to Lula's.
Oh,
The old double dip. That's what we call
that
it.
was actually a really great place too. Actually,
Mhm.
love that spot too.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
wide open windows,
Uh-huh.
very modern contemporary design. But we do like fresh handmade pasta, Neapolitan style pizza. But our cocktail list is amazing. Some good wine as well. So I was managing that for about 5 years. I'm a partner there with my brother and my other two business partners, Mark and Joe. So we had some roots on commercial. A couple of my other partners, the way I kind of look at Lula's is like three groups. We have the Sopra Sotto group. We have my cousins who have like Namos and Cabo downtown. And then John, who has Minerva's in Kerasiotis on 41st. We got together. We wanted to do something like a big passion project for us. And Commercial Drive is like on an upswing. And we found it just to be the perfect kind of ideal spot to open up.
Yeah, if it's working, why change?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of
Never
sense.
know. Maybe we'll venture out downtown at some point. But
I think it's so refreshing not have to constantly go, somewhere core
Same
downtown
spot,
or
yeah.
Yaletown constantly.
for sure.
We come out, you experience a whole different atmosphere, a whole different vibe. And in all honesty, I feel like as soon as people kind of come towards commercial, everyone just becomes a bit more welcoming. For some reason,
Like no one's on edge there.
no one's on edge there. The whole, I'm just gonna say it, the whole pretentiousness just drops and it's gone.
Yeah, because Yaletown has that vibe to it.
And hopefully that brings because we are getting a lot of new people that typically we don't see on commercial, and hopefully that kind of brings exposure to the drive and is driving more people down there and checking out the new spots, because there's a whole ton of terrific places down there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I agree with you. Commercial to me growing up was always just that spot where you transfer SkyTrain stations
Yeah. Okay.
and then you go downtown. But then when Murday showed me Lula's, I was like, oh cool, and then went just down the street and just walked around. Yeah, it's a lot more lively than I thought.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I think the area owes you guys a lot because I think it's drawn so much eyes and attention to that strip that I think it's just revamped the entire area.
Yeah. It's buzzing, man, especially in the summer. And it's always been a super welcoming neighborhood to whoever it is, whether it's, Yeah, anyone for any kind of walks of life. Actually, on our door, we made it a point to kind of put this hospitality term. In Greek, it means philoxenia, which just means like a friend with a stranger. And that's kind of what we envisioned when we opened it, like, opening our doors to not just commercial drive, but just people from all over the city. And
Right. This is actually a great question. What's your favorite Wow, I'm so smart. No. What's your favorite restaurant that you're not associated with? Like, where do you go if you don't want to go to your spot?
The odd time you're not eating at Lula.
And it could be
the odd time I'm not eating at any of those places.
Yeah, it could be anything. Like,
Wow,
it could
that's
be
a
Red Robins if you love Red Robins. That's your thing.
Yeah, that's a great. I mean, who doesn't love Red Robins, man? Come on.
World famous burgers.
Let me see. That's a great question. Can I get back to you on that?
Sure.
Yeah. I love sushi, but I just I have my takeout sushi spot, then I have my we had some good sushi a second ago.
Yeah.
That was great.
Shouts out Sushi California.
Yeah.
So in terms of, I've always curious about the plates. So you guys break plates. One of my favorite things to do when I'm there too. What's the story behind it?
The story behind it. So many years back, the reason people break plates, I believe, is it kind of gets rid of like bad energy and bad spirits. That's like, I'm talking like hundreds of years ago. But it just always kind of, I guess, evolved into celebratory things like weddings, bouzouki. Greek people just love fucking breaking shit, honestly. Sorry, I don't mean to swear.
No,
throwing napkins. When we're getting into that mode, we just like to break stuff. When we first opened, there was a lot of Greek dancing going around, and we were kind of, all our partners were there enjoying the open for the first couple months, and some Greek music would come on, and people would do like a solo dance, which is called like a zebekiko, and with that you break plates. We were breaking the plates that we were serving on, and that became extremely expensive. So I had to nip that in the bud.
When were you still doing that? Like recently, in the last like year?
We recently, I would say about 6 months ago, imported about 11,000 sugar plates from Greece that are bouzouki style plates.
That makes a lot more sense because when we went, like, I remember going in December or whatever. I remember the plate breaking being like really dramatic.
Yeah, you can hear it, right?
Yeah, you're just like, this is kind of getting fucking crazy. Like
the odd time,
like boom, boom, and then breaking them. And then last time when we came, the plates looked a lot just like still a ton of fun.
Yeah,
but they looked like not your guys' serving plates. And I was like, this I feel more safe to step on.
A lot safer. I mean, now I can hear like when like an actual plate breaks. Someone just sees the other plates break and might grab one, and I'm like, okay, man, like, cut that out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So on that note, so I think you always hear restaurant industries are one of the most challenging industries to start a business in, and you hit also the storm of COVID on top of it. You guys have had such a successful, basically, road for you guys, and I'm curious, and I'm sure many other people are curious too. What do you guys basically put that on? Like, what made you guys successful? General, let alone during COVID when a lot of restaurants were closing down?
Yeah, so I mean, we took over kind of just during when COVID started, actually. So it was a bit risky, and we opened a bit later than we were expecting, for sure. But at the same time, I think it did us some favor. Kind of like it was kind of like a perfect storm, honestly. We opened in that little window where plexi and the masks kind of came off. Not that we knew that was going to happen, so we got a little bit lucky, but got to be lucky to be good, look good to be lucky, kind of thing. Because I couldn't picture, plexi and Lula's, if you guys have obviously been there, and it's a very tight kind of Taverna style room. It kind of just opened at a great time between our partners. We've been in the business for a long time. It kind of we create a nice buzz, and through our network, a serious demand for when we were finally ready to open. So kind of just a perfect storm, honestly. Yeah. Right. I can't say that we specifically planned it out to a T. But if COVID,
your first.
It wasn't our first. And if COVID kind of taught us in our industry anything, it's to like kind of expect the unexpected, jumping through a million hoops. Even like right now, we're in the middle of a liquor strike, and usually maybe 4 years ago I would have been panicking, and it's just like, okay, well, we'll get through, we'll figure it out, kind of thing.
Do you see yourself more as an entrepreneur or a restaurant owner?
Kind of neither, honestly. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just never thought of myself like that, but I guess a restaurant owner if I had to pick between the two.
Okay.
Yeah. Just grouped up with some good guys, and we're not afraid to like roll up our sleeves and kind of get to work, and
That's entrepreneur.
that's it.
I think that's entrepreneurship,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
And I
a bit
think
of both.
I always differentiate entrepreneurship with some sort of business owner, because I think entrepreneurs understand they see the long term play. And
Mhm.
so, for instance, I think Vlad brought a great example up while we were talking before, where there was a couple. I remember we're sitting down. There was a couple waiting. Their table wasn't ready yet, and you guys went and gave them a little ouzo shot, right, for them to wait. And I think those little things that you do to retain clients and to make people happy is entrepreneurship. And I think a basic restaurant owner wouldn't do that because they would just see it as a lost profit,
Yeah,
a dollar.
yeah, dollar, yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
It's
That's like-
ridiculous, right?
yeah.
But I think you guys have done a great way of doing that and changing the whole atmosphere of the restaurant industry.
Yeah, and I think honestly we don't think of it as obviously we don't think of it as a dollar loss, but it's also not like, oh, I need to give this person a shot of ouzo or otherwise they're never coming back. It's like I understand how it could be frustrating to wait for a table, and I just genuinely want you to have a great time when you come to our space, and I want to meet you. Like I want to, hey, I want to apologize. I'll have a little ouzo shot with you, introduce myself, and give them communication's everything in our business. So let them know that it's going to be 5 minutes, but enjoy this on us. It's the least we can do. What is it
Especially
cost?
putting your feet into their situation and knowing how you would feel if you were in their
100%.
their situation.
Yeah,
As
100%.
Gary Vee would say, empathy.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to have empathy.
But also, yeah, just kind of wanting to put myself out there and meet as many people. I've met more people in just this spot. I've been in the industry for pretty much my whole life, but with Lula's, I'm constantly meeting new people, making new connections. Couldn't ask for.
I had some
better.
I told some friends that you were gonna come on, and they all had the same question, like, what is an ouzo shot? What's in there?
Ouzo.
Because ouzo, sorry, because it tastes like, from what I remember, black licorice,
Yeah.
right?
So it's got that star of anise, the black licorice flavor to it.
Uh-huh.
Ouzo is probably the most popular like spirit in Greece. It's an aperitif. I mean, it's probably best enjoyed by the beach, but we make do with Commercial Drive. But yeah, aperitif. So it should open your appetite a bit. Goes great on the rocks. It gets like nice and cloudy when you stir it. Really good with seafood as well. But just a meze, like a little snack and ouzo. That's how they drink it in Greece.
Okay, so people drink it straight. It's not. You don't really make
You
a
could.
mixed drink out of it.
You could mix it with like
Traditionally.
Traditionally, yeah. Traditionally, it's drank straight on the rocks.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, either neat on the rocks, and then you can add like water. If it's too strong, you add a little bit of water, that kind of thing.
Nice.
We actually have it on tap, so it's ice cold. It's like
boy.
we kind of created like this little ouzo culture. Nobody really, asks for Jameson anymore there.
Right.
It's all like ouzo.
Yeah.
And like funny enough, like at my dad's old restaurant, which was over 50 years old, it would just be like the dustiest bottle on the back of the shelf.
Uh-huh.
Nobody even touched it.
Mm.
Now we all love it.
You guys made it
just fun.
sexy again, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually enjoy it now. I hated it before, but I actually, I crave it. It's nice.
What's I forget what I was gonna ask. So you have it on tap. I totally forget.
It's all good. I was gonna ask you. So let's talk about your previous experiences.
Yeah.
Right. So you said you've been in the whole restaurant industry, the entertainment, nightlife, hospitality industry for your entire life. If you can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. So my dad comes from a family of 9 siblings, 6 boys and 3 girls, and they moved out to Vancouver in the 60s. The males did. The females, for whatever reason, just back in the day, they just didn't. They would stay in the village, and there was work opportunity for the males to move over. So my oldest uncle came over. One by one, every brother kind of followed him, and then they worked in a lot of mines and camps up north for a little while, and then eventually they got an opportunity to open a restaurant with another, I think, Greek gentleman. They opened Olympia Pizza. I can't remember where the original location was, but then they moved to West Broadway.
Kind of Greek, whole Greek.
Yeah,
atmosphere.
Kitsilano. I don't know why they settled on that. I'm
Yeah.
happy they did. I grew up in Kits. I love it.
Yeah.
But they opened Olympia, and that's still running. It's over 50 years old. And from that, they opened some nightclubs, Caprice, love affair venue, celebrities, a bunch of other stuff like that. And then my brother and my younger cousins who are close in age recently just kind of branched off, and we're doing our own thing and opening a bunch of restaurants
So you were helping your dad from a
Yeah.
very young age, though, right?
Yeah, since I was like pretty much 12, I was doing summers at Olympia, and then every year I kind of added an extra day, and then full time by basically 20, and
Was it?
worked in the nightclubs.
Did you feel like you had to help, or did you want to help? What was the?
Definitely, I would say definitely at the beginning it's like a must do, and then after, it's kind of all we knew, and we loved doing it. And like I said, I worked in a bunch of nightclubs as well, family nightclubs. And then my brother opened Sopra, which is a block away from Lula's. Managed that for about 5 years, and we wanted to do something different, a different challenge, a big passion project.
Right.
And so that's where we are now.
What'd you do with the nightclubs?
Nightclubs, my cousins are still operating them, but it's kind of we're on like our own paths. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
But I mean, what did you just do there specifically?
I was bartending. Yeah,
Bartending.
Okay. Yeah, bartender for about I would say almost 8 to 10 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, between Caprice and Venue. Yeah.
Okay. I asked this before, but do you see yourself long term staying in this whole industry?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, it's like kind of all I really know, but I don't know in what capacity. I think we were talking a bit earlier about you're constantly learning new things and growing, and maybe it could be in like a different role down the line. Yeah.
I feel like with us too, in our industries too, in construction, where your day to day is so different every day.
Yeah.
So it obviously keeps you on your toes, but at some point things do get a little stagnant. So what gets you really excited? Like, I'm sure when you open up Lula's, that got you really excited, right? What's the next thing that you see that's going to get you hyped and get your blood flowing?
Yeah, that's a great question too. Lula's has definitely kept me on my toes. There's a lot of moving parts, and it's very unique, especially compared to the other restaurants we have. We talked about this a little while ago, but innovation is one thing with that place, and you got to constantly reinvent yourself. Otherwise, you get a little stagnant. There's new places opening up. That challenge in itself kind of keeps me excited. Opening new locations or whatever it may be, whether it's Lula's or something else, and events, like planning events. I love planning events.
So you guys, so on the topic of innovating and always changing things up, you guys had that brunch party recently.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a new thing for you guys. And you guys also have, is it Sundays or Mondays where you have, is it a drag show?
They're kind of one-off, so they're not necessarily Sunday or Mondays. Same with the day parties. Day parties is something we want to continue to do, especially in summertime.
Right.
It has that Greek island vibe. Sorry guys.
Oh, please, huh? I think that's a sign for a top off.
It might be, yeah. So day parties are definitely something we want to continue to do. And the drag of like events like that, basically. Right. We're pairing up with some guys that do throw events down on Yaletown, that kind of thing, and maybe see what we can do in the new year with them. And I don't know, like we want to do like at least one event a month for there. Sure.
So are those things that kind of like change your kind of your complete flow and that gets you excited again? Because there's a whole new thing that you got to try out this time.
Yeah, definitely. The week to week's fun, don't get me wrong, but events are fun, and planning them and
for sure
executing them and seeing how people respond to them. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
So you guys are pretty active on social media. Most restaurants.
You guys are active on social media. How much of your like day one crowd, I guess, besides friends and family, did you attract because of your social media? Or was it just showing a good time and then hoping everything else falls in place?
Definitely media has promotions, marketing, and media has a huge role in it. We hired a company when we opened. They did a terrific job from us. But most recently, my cousin and partner has a little media group himself, and he does all our restaurants with a couple of very talented like colleagues of his. And they're expanding. They're doing some terrific accounts, and they've had our account for probably like, I would say the last 10 months to a year.
So they're the ones controlling the day-to-day
social media. Yeah.
Repost all the things I post every week.
Everything. Yeah. Like he understands the vision and the brand that we're trying to push out, so he can kind of guide his team to really kind of showcase that. With that being said, I can't take away from the group that opened Lula's with us because, the launch was
phenomenal
off the tee. Yeah. We talk about it to this day with all our partners. We were just like, every day we would come in there and we were excited to go to work and do our thing on the floor, but also just enjoy each other's company. And it was so nice to see like the response we got from our, which was very much like a passion project. Like I said, I've said like 5 times already, but like beating a dead horse here, but it was truly that.
Yeah.
And hopefully that kind of, you know,
Well, again,
comes
the
out.
amount of people you guys draw in, and there's a lot of people that are, I would say, influencers that love to come to your restaurant. I'm sure
Cool.
once they share posts and you guys reshare that, that must gain some sort of terrific traction for you guys.
I know it does. I don't know the exact data, but my cousin's on top of that a little bit more than I am. That's kind of his field. But I check.
Vancouver's so small.
Yeah.
Right?
I check in on him. I'm saying, how's like, you know, how's the feedback been from last week, kind of thing. And he's like, it's terrific. It's like keeps ramping up. So yeah. So
That's fantastic.
he's doing a great job, man.
What's the future of Lula's look like to you?
Future of Lula's. Oof. I don't know. That's we talk about that quite a bit. Whether it's, you know, is it just that one location and it don't even mess with it. It's like so unique that you don't want to like
It's a
try
big
and
decision.
open another one.
Because you
Unless it-
actually make the location what it is,
Yeah.
right? So you can't duplicate you.
Fair enough. Oh, thank you.
Well, no, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like when we come the odd time when you're not there, it's like, oh, he's not there. We'll still have a good time.
Yeah.
But half the fun is to see you around and seeing you interact with everyone, and then your other partners interacting with everyone, and you know that's a family business, and it's just such a nice feeling to be
I
in
guess
that.
for the immediate future for that one specific location is just dialing it into a point where it's turnkey and you guys are coming in and we don't necessarily have to be there and the vibe is there
Yeah.
and we have the pieces in place that can facilitate our regulars and that kind of thing and kind of be our eyes and ears, but also be our vibe that we want to kind of push out to our guests.
Definitely.
That's the immediate future for that Lula's. In terms of Lula's as a brand, I don't know. I feel like we have something there, but it's just about finding out exactly, what it can be. And that's kind of like the next challenge, I guess. So
Also, just a quick shout out the servers you guys have there. The fact that they can maneuver around everything, and like, you know, people like pulling their chairs out, people standing, people dancing, people throwing plates. They're dodging plates. They're getting orders.
yeah,
Nothing's ever late. Like,
that's Greece, man.
yeah,
that's Greece.
the service is incredible.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if for someone who wants to start a business, let's state general for a second, what would your piece of advice be? They come to you like, hey, I'm thinking of pursuing this career path. What should I do?
Restaurants?
No, just anything. Like, what would your piece of advice be to start a business?
Yeah, just make sure that you have a clear concept and identity and don't waver from that. Don't panic. Like just stick to it. Even if it's not working out, be passionate about what you have in mind to do and don't waver from that because that's when you kind of mess things up.
Right.
Like if you're trying to please everybody, then you're going to be McDonald's. Okay. Well, which is nothing wrong with that. McDonald's is a great business. Don't get me wrong. Maybe that's a bad example, but you're never going to have 100% of people liking what you're putting out there. Just got to be confident about what your identity and your concept is and just kind of stay the course. Right. Otherwise, you can find yourself losing yourself. You're going to lose your passion behind it too.
Yeah. So I'm sure with a restaurant, things happen throughout the night that you just could not even anticipate. How do you handle that?
Oh man, we're like just problem solving. Honestly, it's just that's one thing that our experience has taught us. Like you're never gonna have a smooth night. Like it comes around like 1 out of every 100. Honestly,
right.
You just got to be expecting to kind of run into some kind of road bump along the night. So just be on your toes, expect it. You know, you're gonna probably bump into something along the night, but just gotta think, keep a clear mind and keep a level head because you're gonna bump into something for sure.
Have you guys had any weddings at your place?
Weddings, no. We've had we most recently had like a bridal shower. So a lot of women in there. They like the space as well. So it went off really well. They loved it. That was in August. It was like a day event as well.
Nice.
We don't really typically do a lot of buyouts there. It's not something we typically like to do.
Right.
Bios is that when someone
rents the whole restaurant. Yeah. Especially on like weekends, we don't. That's
tough.
Well, that's for like our regular clientele and that kind of thing. not that we're opposed to doing any weddings, but we don't want to be like an event space like that. You know?
What are your thoughts on like Christmas parties and stuff?
Christmas parties, I'm sure we'll do a lot of Christmas parties. Yeah, it makes sense during the week especially. But the weekends we do want to like have for, general public. Gonna piss people off too.
Yeah.
If you're constantly doing all these things, I'll go there and let's go there and
up and there's like a event.
Yeah. But like Christmas time, we never really have one of those under our belt yet, just because when we opened last year, I think last December, the COVID numbers went back up again, and they kind of shut that down a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
You had a question you wanted to ask in terms of craziness or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, do you remember any crazy stories? Have you thought of any?
Crazy
Like,
stories.
I mean, by crazy, obviously.
Doesn't even have to be at Lula's.
Yeah,
per
no
se.
one
It
like
could
lit a
be-
fire, like no one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That, but like, I mean, just like one night where you just had a rowdy crowd and you were like, holy, like these people need to relax. Or...
Thankfully, it's been pretty good, man. It's actually been better than I anticipated.
Do you think that's because your ability to handle stress is just, or you're kind of you're okay with it getting a little wild, so therefore?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, we have a good team that can handle that.
Yeah.
We're also trying to kind of nip that in the bud and with our crowd and make sure that we're not that place where you're trying to flex there that too hard. Like you said, the pretentiousness is kind of dropped when you come to commercial, and hopefully that the guests there are just having a good time.
Yeah.
And that, we haven't really had any fights. I think one little tiny brush up once.
Mm-hmm.
The only like crazy stuff that happens on the regular that I've just honestly find comical is the plate breaking. Like people do the weirdest shit with them, like break it on the ceiling or on their head, or just like spike it like a football. I'm like, hey man,
threw it outside.
just take it easy. Like
Tiana threw her plate outside.
Oh well, she smashed it like the thing is the bay window's open. So
Yeah.
when you throw it, the shards go everywhere. Like they don't magically stay inside the unit. So that's tough to control stuff.
we've
like
had a
that.
couple like wild, like little weird things where things get broken, but that's just wear and tear, and kind of gotta expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the plates, like I don't know, people just break them in the weirdest fucking way, man. It's weird, but it's just like you don't need to do that.
It's like allowing a kid to like jump on their bed for the first time.
Yeah.
Like they can.
Yeah,
they
people
can
get giddy,
break
man.
things. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like weird. Yeah.
Awesome.
Any more questions?
I was looking forward to this for a long time. So
Yeah. That's
thanks
great.
Likewise,
for
man.
coming, man.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course. That was nice. That was fun.
Do you have a
Well, can I make a resume?
Yeah.
for 35 people?
I think I've seen
Yeah.
tons of that actually. That's
like I was saying, I hope. I mean, I'm sure you like. How far do you guys book in advance?
Ooh, right now, especially on the weekends, we're booking about 3 weeks to a month in advance on Friday, Saturdays. Yeah.
So we're busy.
And that's kind of another challenge we're trying to figure out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a challenge, but that's a challenge just because it's limited space, no? Or are you trying to balance the amount of resos or versus the amount of walk-ins?
Trying to balance, okay, we definitely want to keep room for walk-ins, but we're also trying to balance people's expectations. So if you're coming at 6, you saw us on Instagram, you think that you're going to be, breaking plates or dancing on the table or that kind of thing at 6 o'clock. It's not typically how it happens. And at the same time, we have reservations booked behind. So we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we communicate what kind of experience you want to the guest as much as possible, whether that be on the phone, via email, or whatever. Also, can we maybe provide an extra day a week where we are doing a similar experience of Friday and Saturday, and
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. What? So when people booked, is it mostly over the phone or is it online? Do they go through like an app?
mostly online. We kind of launch month to month,
Yeah.
and then a lot through maybe the phone on site, probably the least, because people will call the night of mostly. But another big way is just like through my phone or my partner's phone, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we give our emails and all that kind of
My
stuff.
thought, if people book online, if you could kind of group the sections of the night, like if it's a Friday, you can do like dinner service starts at what time?
5 o'clock.
5. So you can do like a 5 to 8 window where people book there and you call it like dinner and drinks, and then you can book like 8 and on, and it's labeled as something else. So when someone's booking it, they'll be like, oh, I'm actually in for a party from 8 to whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to figure out, how many seatings you can get, or how how to separate the experiences. But that's actually a great. We're trying to figure out how to phrase it, but that's a good way to do it.
Like a different product almost.
Yeah.
Each
It is,
Each
'cause-
hour is a different.
Because it's a different experience for sure, but they're both great, and I don't want the dinner to be lost because we have like a terrific new chef, young Greek kid, 26. He's doing like modern takes on Greek kind of classics, and a lot of Greek food kind of especially in Vancouver, or not Vancouver, in North America, kind of gets misconstrued, and where it's like, rice, potatoes, Greek salad all in one dish, whereas we in Greece or whatever, a lot of cultures, it's family style sharing, and we want to try a bit of everything, and our menu is designed to be shared. It's the best way you're going to enjoy it. And so that kind of, I don't want the food aspect to get lost in our place, because it's terrific food, fresh, made to order. We import sea bass from Greece. We do a lot of really fun takes on and fresh food. So
back to your idea of staying true to why you started this whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like all our furniture is imported from Greece. Our tablecloth imported from Greece. We're trying to showcase as many Greek spirits in our cocktails as possible. Wine list, Greek and BC only. Like, we really want to drive a focus and exposure and educate our consumers on Greek product, because we're finally getting tons of great stuff to the market, especially wine wise. So that's kind of where it started, and the party scene, two different things, but we want to kind of bridge that a little bit and dial in like the service, and like you said, and hopefully that the servers are good when you guys come by. But
Always.
Yeah.
We're there often enough to know,
Yeah,
confidently to say that now.
Every time I go to a new restaurant, I always look at their menu, obviously, and then I always get calamari, and that kind of gauges like,
you got to do a good.
Does the restaurant know what's up or not? But you guys always have great calamari, and definitely, you can tell it's obviously made to order fresh.
Yeah.
And we had the steak too, right?
Do the steak this time. I think that's fairly new for you guys, right?
Yeah, we just featuring that. Like I said, with our new chef, he's like trying to feature some, big sharing items for the weekends, and a lot of tomahawks, like bone-in ribeyes, that kind of thing, right?
That's the restaurant experience that I like so much more when you share.
Yeah.
Just like Nightingale is very similar to you. You're mostly going there with a group of people to share everything.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just gonna eat half a chicken by yourself.
Which
right?
makes you just pause and enjoy the time you're there. You're not just chomping and filling your face up, right?
Head down. Yeah, no, like that's the best way to eat. You're gonna taste everything, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Enjoy your company.
As we wrap up the podcast, is there anything that you want to say, promote?
Yeah, let's see. I don't know how you guys like in Lula's when you guys pop by. I saw the wall over there with all the pictures. It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Well, it's always a
your
great
friends,
time. We, like, last time we went for a special occasion, it was Amir's birthday, who's not here today, as you can tell. The time before that, you went with some clients.
Yeah, I take clients there all the time. Took Michael, took our interior designer. Went for my birthday, got that entire.
Oh,
Saturday.
that
was a great time.
That was a ton of fun. Yeah, that was great. Everyone loved that one.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for everyone. Like, it's not just for young people. Like, we get older couples, and it's just that kind of makes my day when I see that multiple demographics are enjoying what our experience is, and that's what it's about. So I know you guys have been there a bunch. We enjoy having you guys. Please come back as many times as you want.
For sure.
Be some ouzo waiting for sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cheers, guys.
All
Yeah,
right.
thanks.
Cheers. I have a little bit left in here. Thank you very much for listening.
On to the next week, we have a really good guest as well that I'm very excited about. And stay tuned, and we can't wait to release this episode right now.